In this series of videos, we are going to build a house from start to finish. This relies on a certain amount of understanding of basic SketchUp tools and principles. If you get stuck, you may need to go back and watch some of the earlier video tutorials that cover the basics of SketchUp. We're going to start in this video by setting up the file and importing the plan. First, open up a new SketchUp file and use the inches template. Then we're going to import the DWG file to use as a guide to create our model. Go to the menu bar and select File, Import. Make sure all supported types is selected from the Format drop-down menu. Then, find the drawing file you want to import. Select the file name and click Import. The drawing should load as a group. If it doesn't, group it by selecting all the lines. Right-click and select Make Group. Okay, now we're going to create the floor plate. Start by creating a rectangle somewhere in the floor plan. Now, we want to give the floor plate a thickness, but we still want to see the lines of the plan so we can use it to guide the placement of our walls. So, to create the floor plate thickness, we're going to use the Push-Pull tool to pull the floor thickness down from the plan. So, use the Orbit tool to navigate underneath the plan. Then, pull the floor thickness down to 10 inches. Now, group the floor plate by triple-clicking on the object. Then, right-click and select Make Group. Now we want to pull the floor plate to the extents of the plan. So, double-click on the group and use Push-Pull to pull the geometry to the edges of the plan, using the points on the plan as inference points. Now we want to remove areas outside of the plan. Select the Line tool. Tap L for line. Using inference points on the plan as a guide, draw continuous lines around the areas outside of the plan. Then, use the Push-Pull tool to remove the areas outside the plan. The Push-Pull tool is really useful for repeat operations. For example, the tool remembers how far something was pushed or pulled last time it was used. So if you are pushing several things the same dimension, you only need to tell SketchUp how far to push the first item. Then, with the Push-Pull tool active, you can simply double-click any further items to push them the same distance. Let's demonstrate. The thickness of the floor is 10 inches. As you start to push the first section, type in 10 inches. Then, with the Push-Pull tool still active, double-click on the other areas outside of the plan. Then, press spacebar to clear the tool and click anywhere outside the space to come out of the group.